Have you ever felt like happiness is always just out of reach, as if it's a destination you can never quite arrive at? Perhaps you've worked tirelessly for a promotion, dreamed of owning the perfect home, or sought the ideal relationship, only to find that achieving these goals doesn't bring the peace you hoped for. If you felt this way, you're not alone. Happiness isn't a finish line, it's a journey, shaped by the choices we make and the mindset we cultivate daily. Let me share a personal story. I used to believe that happiness came from hitting life's milestones, getting the right job, building the dream house, or being in the perfect partnership. But even when I checked those boxes, there was always an emptiness I couldn't shake. That's when I discovered the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. It taught me that true happiness isn't about external achievements, it's about how we navigate life, focusing on what's within our control and appreciating the present moment. In this video, we'll uncover 8 powerful Stoic principles that can help you live with clarity, resilience, and gratitude. These actionable insights are more than ideas. They're tools you can use to transform your life today. So, if you're ready to find peace and purpose, stay with me until the end. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who might be searching for a way to create a happier, more fulfilling life. Together, we can make a difference. 1. Focus on control. In life, stress and anxiety often come from feeling overwhelmed by things we cannot change. Perhaps you've experienced this: a project delayed by someone else's mistake, a sudden storm ruining a carefully planned day, or a traffic jam that seems to test every ounce of your patience. These moments can feel infuriating, even hopeless. But what if the answer isn't in changing the situation, but in changing how you respond to it? This is the core of Stoic wisdom, focusing on what is within your control. Epictetus, a revered Stoic philosopher, once said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This simple truth holds immense power. While we cannot control the weather, other people's actions, or unexpected events, we can control our reactions, our choices, and our thoughts. Stoicism teaches us that when we direct our energy toward these controllable aspects, we reduce stress and create inner peace. Picture this. You're sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic on a Monday morning. The clock ticks closer to your meeting time, and your frustration mounts. The honking horns seem to mirror your boiling irritation. But now imagine this same scenario through a Stoic lens. Instead of stewing in anger, you turn on a podcast or an audiobook. You reclaim the moment, using it to learn, reflect, or simply breathe. The situation remains unchanged, but your mindset transforms it into an opportunity for growth. Another story. A friend of mine was deeply stressed about a presentation at work, constantly worrying about her boss's potential reaction. Her anxiety consumed her preparation time, leaving her feeling unprepared and insecure. When I introduced her to Stoic principles, she shifted her focus. She asked herself, "What can I control?" The answer was simple: her preparation, her delivery, and her attitude. By letting go of concerns about her boss's judgment, she poured her energy into crafting a strong presentation and succeeded. Her confidence grew because she concentrated on what was hers to command. Focusing on control does more than reduce stress, it enhances personal agency. When we stop reacting to circumstances beyond us, we reclaim our power to shape our lives. Consider this. Instead of fretting over a colleague's missed deadlines, you focus on ensuring your contributions are timely and impactful. This proactive mindset fosters self-assurance because you know you've done your part well. Moreover, this approach boosts effectiveness. Imagine you're preparing for an important project. Instead of wasting time worrying about external factors, such as market fluctuations or unpredictable trends, you channel all your energy into thorough research and actionable strategies. By focusing solely on what you can influence, you increase your chances of success, both at work and in life. Stoicism offers a clear path here. Begin by distinguishing between what is within your control and what is not. Each time you face a challenge, ask yourself this: am I worrying about something I can change? If the answer is no, redirect your thoughts to what you can improve. Cultivating this habit is a skill that grows stronger with practice. The more you focus on your actions, choices, and thoughts, the more peaceful and empowered your life becomes. This isn't about dismissing the complexity of life's problems, but about addressing them with wisdom. The next time you're tempted to spiral into frustration, remember, while you can't control the storm, you can always adjust your sails. Through Stoic focus, you can navigate even the roughest seas with clarity and strength. 2. Stop doubting yourself. Self-doubt can feel like an invisible weight, holding you back from reaching your true potential. It whispers, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" These thoughts often paralyze us, stopping us from taking the risks that lead to growth. But what if, instead of letting doubt control you, you flip the narrative? Imagine asking yourself, "How can I learn and grow from this challenge?" And shifting your focus to possibilities rather than limitations. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This profound idea reminds us that doubt isn't an enemy to eliminate, but a signal to redirect our mindset. Self-doubt often comes from fear of failure or comparing ourselves to others. By using Stoic principles, we can transform these fears into fuel for personal development. Instead of thinking, "I can't," try remembering past successes, no matter how small. They're proof that you can overcome obstacles and achieve more than you believe. Let me share a story about someone I know. A colleague of mine, the young man just starting in the company, used to avoid public speaking. Every time the opportunity arose, he convinced himself he wasn't charismatic enough. But when he decided to reframe his doubts, everything changed. He focused on preparation, acknowledging his fears, but channeling them into practice. Over time, he delivered his first presentation confidently, and that moment became a turning point. Believing in his ability to learn transformed his career. He now mentors others, showing that self-doubt is merely a stepping stone to self-discovery. When you stop doubting yourself, doors to growth and opportunities open. Think of a time when fear held you back. Perhaps it was hesitating to apply for a job you felt unqualified for, or declining a challenge because you worried about failure. But imagine if instead you had seen these moments as opportunities to stretch your abilities. By embracing these challenges, you gain not only new skills, but also confidence in your capacity to evolve. Breaking free from doubt also builds self-esteem. When you stop questioning your worth, you start seeing yourself in a more positive light. It's not about arrogance, it's about recognizing your value. This shift allows you to approach life with confidence and appreciate the strengths that make you unique. Furthermore, letting go of self-doubt diminishes negative feelings. Anxiety, fear, and insecurity thrive in the shadow of doubt. Releasing these thoughts creates space for joy, contentment, and a renewed zest for life. Stoicism provides a practical way to cultivate this mindset. Start by identifying moments when doubt arises. Instead of letting it consume you, pause and challenge the thought. Ask, "What evidence do I have that I can't succeed?" Often, you'll find that your fears are exaggerated. Replace these thoughts with affirmations of growth. "I can learn," or "I've faced challenges before and emerged stronger." This small but consistent habit rewires your perspective over time. Self-doubt isn't a roadblock. It's a signal pointing toward areas for growth. By embracing the Stoic practice of questioning your fears and focusing on your potential, you'll discover a deep sense of resilience and inner peace. It's not about being fearless. It's about choosing courage despite fear. The next time doubt creeps in, remind yourself that every great achievement begins with a single step of belief. 3. Reflect on your life. Life often moves so quickly that we rarely pause to take stock of where we've been and where we're going. Each day blurs into the next, and before we know it, weeks, months, or even years have passed. But what if we could slow down for just a moment to reflect? What if we use that time to understand ourselves better and guide our lives with clarity? Reflection isn't just an act of looking back, it's a tool for growth, rooted deeply in Stoic wisdom. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, believed in the power of nightly reflection. He wrote about reviewing his day, asking what he did well, where he fell short, and what he could improve. This practice isn't about guilt or regret, but about learning. Reflection allows us to see patterns in our behavior, identify what truly matters, and make adjustments that align with our goals and values. Imagine a man, overwhelmed by work, who feels like he's constantly treading water. He spends his weekends catching up on emails, barely noticing his family or the simple joys around him. One evening, he decides to pause. He takes a notebook and writes about his week, what went well, what didn't, and what he wished he had done differently. In that quiet moment, he realizes how much he's been sacrificing for deadlines that don't align with his true priorities. That realization is his turning point. He begins to set boundaries at work and spends his evenings with his family, rediscovering a sense of balance and joy. Reflection helps us understand ourselves. By reviewing our actions and emotions, we gain insights into our strengths, weaknesses, and values. For instance, a man might notice that he's been irritable lately. Upon reflection, he realizes it's because he's been neglecting his health, skipping workouts, and eating poorly. Recognizing this pattern, he makes small changes, and over time, his mood and energy improve. This clarity wouldn't have come without pausing to look inward. Looking back also helps us learn from experience. We all make mistakes, but those mistakes hold valuable lessons if we're willing to examine them. Think of someone who's struggled with impulsive decisions, whether in finances or relationships. By reflecting on those choices, they can identify what triggered them and plan better responses in the future. Reflection is like a compass, helping us navigate life with greater wisdom. Moreover, taking time to reflect allows us to adjust our direction. Life isn't a straight path. It's full of twists and turns. Without reflection, we might find ourselves drifting away from our goals without even realizing it. For instance, a man passionate about volunteering might notice he's spent the past year consumed by work, leaving little time for what fulfills him most. Reflection gives him the chance to realign his actions with his values, creating a life that feels meaningful and complete. Stoicism encourages us to make reflection a habit. Each day, set aside a few minutes to ask yourself, what went well today? What could I have done differently? Am I living in alignment with my values? This practice isn't just about improvement, it's about cultivating inner peace. When we understand ourselves, we can approach life with greater intention and calm. Reflection is a gift we give ourselves. It doesn't require a mountain retreat or hours of meditation, just a quiet moment to pause and look inward. By adopting this Stoic practice, you'll find clarity in your choices, growth in your experiences, and a renewed sense of purpose every day. 4. Embrace learning and exploration. Life often feels repetitive, like a cycle of familiar routines and predictable outcomes. While this predictability can offer comfort, it can also lead to monotony, leaving us feeling uninspired. Breaking free from this cycle doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest acts of curiosity can spark immense joy. Learning something new, a recipe, a skill, or even a fact, breathes life into our days, offering excitement and growth. Stoicism values this sense of exploration. Seneca, one of its greatest thinkers, urged us to constantly seek wisdom and broaden our horizons. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge enriches our lives, keeping us sharp and adaptable. As long as you live, keep learning how to live, he wrote. This is more than advice. It's a call to action. Stoicism doesn't demand mastery over everything, but encourages us to nurture a lifelong curiosity about the world and ourselves. Imagine a man who decides, after years of routine, to try his hand at cooking. He starts with a simple pasta dish, following instructions step by step. At first, it's just an experiment, but as he chops, stirs, and tastes, he finds himself completely immersed. Over time, cooking becomes his passion, a way to relax, express creativity, and connect with loved ones. What began as a small act of curiosity transformed his evenings into moments of joy. Similarly, consider a retiree who signs up for a photography class. For years, he had seen the world in passing, never truly noticing its beauty. But through the lens of his camera, he begins to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. A sunbeam breaking through clouds, the vibrant hues of autumn leaves. Photography doesn't just become a hobby. It becomes a new way of experiencing life, one filled with gratitude and awe. Exploration doesn't just add excitement to life, it broadens our perspective. When we step into unfamiliar territory, we learn to see the world differently. For instance, learning a new language isn't just about communication. It's a gateway to understanding another culture, another way of thinking. These insights can shape how we approach our own challenges, making us more empathetic and thoughtful in our decisions. Additionally, the skills we gain through learning prepare us for the future. In a world that changes rapidly, yesterday's knowledge can quickly become obsolete. A commitment to lifelong learning ensures we stay adaptable and relevant. Whether it's mastering new technology to remain competitive in the workplace or refining communication skills to build stronger relationships, the act of learning keeps us equipped for whatever lies ahead. Stoicism teaches us to approach learning with humility and intention. It reminds us that we are always students, capable of growth at every stage of life. Each new skill, each discovery, no matter how small, becomes a thread in the rich tapestry of our existence. The key is to embrace this process with openness, understanding that the pursuit itself is as valuable as the result. When you incorporate learning into your daily life, you transform the mundane into the extraordinary. Curiosity becomes your compass, guiding you to new passions and deeper understanding. So take that first step. Read the book that's been sitting on your shelf, join the class you've been considering, or explore a hobby that excites you. Through exploration, you'll not only discover the world, but also unlock parts of yourself you never knew existed. 5. Challenge yourself. Growth doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. It comes from stepping into the unknown, facing challenges, and pushing through fear. But let's be honest, most of us avoid challenges because they're uncomfortable. We prefer what's safe and predictable, even if it means staying stagnant. Yet deep down there's a voice that whispers, what if you're capable of more? Stoicism embraces this idea. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This philosophy invites us to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Every time you confront fear, you dismantle the limits you've placed on yourself. You discover strength you didn't know you had. I remember a time when I was terrified of heights. The thought of climbing a mountain felt impossible. But one day, I decided to face that fear. As I ascended the trail, my heart raced with every step, and doubt crept in. But I kept going, focusing on each small movement forward. When I reached the summit, the fear that had once paralyzed me was replaced by a profound sense of accomplishment. That moment changed everything. It wasn't just about conquering a mountain. It was about proving to myself that I could overcome fear. After that, challenges didn't seem so daunting anymore. Challenging yourself doesn't just build confidence, it brings variety and excitement to life. Think about the last time you tried something new, whether it was learning a skill, traveling to an unfamiliar place, or taking on a project at work. The initial uncertainty may have been uncomfortable, but the experience was likely rewarding. These moments add richness and depth to our lives, creating memories and opening doors to possibilities we hadn't imagined. Take, for example, someone who decides to train for their first marathon. At the start, they might doubt their ability to run even a mile. But with each day of training, their endurance grows. Crossing that finish line isn't just a physical achievement, it's a testament to their perseverance, proving they're capable of more than they thought. Stoicism teaches us to embrace challenges with courage and composure. When faced with something that scares or intimidates you, start by breaking it into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on progress, not perfection. Each small victory builds momentum, giving you the confidence to tackle bigger challenges. Over time, you'll find that the things you once feared become the foundation of your strength. Life's most meaningful moments often come from the challenges we dare to face. By stepping outside your comfort zone, you unlock potential you didn't know existed. It's not about chasing perfection, but about discovering who you can become when you push beyond your limits. The next time fear holds you back, remember this: within every challenge lies the opportunity for transformation. When you meet it with courage, you don't just overcome, you thrive. 6. Be kind. Kindness is one of the simplest yet most profound ways to improve your life and the lives of those around you. It builds bridges between people, fosters trust, and creates an environment of harmony and happiness. While grand gestures are wonderful, it's often the small, everyday acts of kindness, holding the door for someone, offering a genuine smile, or listening when someone needs it that leave the biggest impact. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, understood the power of kindness. He believed that we are all interconnected, and every act of goodwill strengthens the fabric of our shared humanity. He wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." This timeless wisdom reminds us that being kind isn't just about helping others. It's about nurturing our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. A close friend of mine has spent years volunteering at a healthcare center. Her role is simple: spending time with patients, listening to their stories, and sharing moments of joy. On the surface, it might seem like a small contribution, but over time, she's seen how these interactions uplift not only the patients, but also the staff and volunteers around her. She tells me that the energy of kindness spreads like ripples in a pond. What starts as a single action touches countless lives. Through her work, she's built meaningful connections and discovered a profound sense of happiness. Kindness isn't a one-way street. Research shows that helping others brings happiness and satisfaction to the giver. Imagine taking a moment out of your day to assist a colleague with a task or helping a neighbor carry groceries. These actions might seem small, but they create a bond, a sense of community. That sense of belonging and purpose stays with you, making your day a little brighter and more fulfilling. In our fast-paced world where distractions and conflicts often dominate, kindness is a conscious choice that transforms our relationships. Imagine how different our interactions would feel if we approached them with compassion rather than frustration. Think of someone who surprises their coworkers with coffee one morning. It's not just about the gesture, it's about the warmth and positivity it creates, setting a tone of gratitude and camaraderie for the entire team. Stoicism encourages us to practice kindness with intention. It's not about expecting anything in return, but about recognizing the inherent value in every individual. When we act with compassion, we cultivate our own virtue, which is central to Stoic philosophy. To apply this in daily life, start small. Reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Offer encouragement to someone facing challenges. Even a sincere compliment can brighten someone's day. When kindness becomes a habit, it changes how you see the world. You begin to notice opportunities to help, moments to connect, and reasons to be grateful. Life becomes richer, not because of material wealth, but because of the relationships and goodwill you nurture. By embracing this Stoic principle, you'll find that kindness isn't just an action, it's a way of living, one that brings peace and joy to yourself and those around you. 7. Do less, better. Modern life often feels like a race against time, with countless tasks pulling us in different directions. Many people equate being busy with being productive, yet the more we take on, the less effective we often become. Focusing on fewer tasks allows us to pour our energy into what truly matters, ensuring quality over quantity. When we do less, we not only reduce stress, but also create room to fully experience life. Stoicism embraces this philosophy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precision and genuine seriousness." This principle isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things with intention. By simplifying our lives and focusing on what truly matters, we align our actions with our values, creating deeper satisfaction and purpose. When I was younger, I believed that juggling multiple jobs and tasks was the key to success. I worked 2 jobs, clocking 6-day weeks, convinced this relentless pace was necessary to get ahead. But instead of feeling accomplished, I was exhausted, burnt out, and barely had time to enjoy the rewards of my labor. It wasn't until I scaled back, prioritizing one job and creating boundaries, that I realized how much more effective and fulfilled I could be. With fewer responsibilities, I was able to focus fully on each task, excel at my work, and finally make time for family and personal growth. This approach not only reduces stress, but also enhances our quality of life. Imagine someone who constantly says yes to every opportunity, from work projects to social obligations. They may appear productive, but in reality, they're stretched too thin, leaving little energy for what truly matters. Now think of someone who says no to unnecessary commitments, focusing instead on a few key areas: career growth, health, and family. This intentional focus not only boosts their efficiency, but also strengthens their relationships and personal well-being. Doing less also creates space for reflection and enjoyment. Without the pressure of constant deadlines or overfilled schedules, you have the freedom to appreciate simple pleasures: a quiet walk, a conversation with a loved one, or pursuing a hobby that brings you joy. These moments enrich life far more than endless multitasking ever could. Stoicism teaches us to approach life like a sculptor, chiseling away the unnecessary to reveal the masterpiece beneath. This means identifying the tasks and commitments that truly matter and letting go of the rest. Start by asking yourself, does this contribute to my goals or values? If the answer is no, consider delegating it or letting it go entirely. Focus your energy on fewer, high-priority tasks and give them your full attention. Simplifying your workload doesn't mean settling for less. It means striving for excellence in what you choose to do. When you focus deeply on fewer things, your actions carry more impact and your accomplishments become more meaningful. Life becomes less about quantity and more about quality. By adopting this Stoic approach, you'll find not only greater efficiency, but also the peace and balance that come from aligning your efforts with what truly matters. 8. Be grateful. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to focus on what's missing, what we didn't achieve, what went wrong, or what we hope for in the future. This habit pulls us away from the present moment, leaving us either stuck in regret or consumed by worry. Gratitude, however, shifts that focus. It centers us on the good we already have, grounding us in the present and offering a sense of contentment. Epictetus encouraged gratitude by saying, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This philosophy isn't about ignoring challenges, but recognizing the blessings, no matter how small, that surround us every day. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we create space for peace and fulfillment. I remember a time when a close friend was going through a difficult phase. His business was struggling, and he felt overwhelmed by uncertainty. But one evening, he shared something remarkable. Instead of dwelling on the setbacks, he started a gratitude journal. Each night, he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for. Some days, it was as simple as the warmth of his morning coffee or a kind word from a stranger. Over time, he noticed a shift. His challenges didn't disappear, but his perspective changed. He felt stronger, more hopeful, and better equipped to face adversity. Gratitude allows us to see life through a more positive lens, even in hardship. Imagine losing an important job opportunity. It's easy to spiral into frustration or despair. But gratitude can remind you of what remains: your skills, your support system, or the chance to pursue new paths. This mindset doesn't erase the difficulty, but provides resilience to navigate through it. Let's consider another example. A family might be struggling to make ends meet, yet they still find joy in shared meals, laughter, and togetherness. Gratitude for these moments strengthens their bond and reminds them that even in tough times, there's beauty to be found. This isn't about denying hardship, but embracing the good within it. Stoicism offers a simple yet powerful practice to cultivate gratitude. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what am I thankful for today? These don't need to be monumental things. Often, it's the smallest moments, a hug from a loved one, a job well done, or even a sunny day, that bring the most joy. Writing them down helps solidify this habit and brings clarity to the abundance in your life. When you live with gratitude, life feels richer. You stop chasing endless desires and start appreciating the present. This doesn't mean you stop striving for growth. It means you do so from a place of peace and contentment. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a practice, a choice you make every day. By embracing it, you'll discover that happiness isn't about having more, but about appreciating what you already have. As we come to the end of this journey, let's reflect on the timeless wisdom we've explored today. Stoic philosophy reminds us that happiness isn't found in material possessions or fleeting achievements. Instead, it lies in how we approach each day, with clarity, resilience, and purpose. By focusing on what we can control, embracing challenges, practicing gratitude, and aligning our actions with our values, we can transform our lives from the inside out. These lessons are more than just ideas. They are practices, habits that you can build each day. Start small. Pause for a moment of reflection at the end of your day, or take a few minutes to list what you're grateful for. When challenges arise, remind yourself of your ability to grow stronger through them. These are simple acts, yet their power is profound. They cultivate a life of calm, confidence, and true contentment. The beauty of Stoicism is its practicality. You don't need to be a philosopher to live by these principles. They are tools for anyone, tools you can use to find peace amidst chaos, strength in the face of fear, and joy in the ordinary. By practicing these teachings daily, you will not only improve your own life, but also inspire those around you. I encourage you to take what you've learned today and put it into practice. And as you do, I'd love to hear your stories. Share in the comments below how these principles have shaped your life or the challenges you've faced in applying them. Let's learn from each other and grow together as a community. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward a more fulfilling life. The journey begins with you.